Hey everyone, my name is Pritam and you're watching Tech with Pri. Welcome to my channel and I'm back with another exciting tech video. And I'm so excited to tell you that this is the video number 33 in our playlist ServiceNow Developer. Yes, so this is the playlist I'm talking about, which is containing all the ServiceNow development related videos. Also, it is going to help you to prepare for your CAD exam and clear all the concepts which are very important for you to become a ServiceNow developer. So you can see I started custom application, each and everything you need to know regarding or building custom application. You can see all the videos are here. Okay, and this would be the video number 33. So you can see already 32 videos I have published, and I'm glad to see these videos are helping you to learn. I'm getting so many comments. So in this video, which is the ServiceNow CAD exam preparation video, where I have shown you the syllabus, the latest syllabus for the CAD examination, and you know what are the topics that are there. And I told you that ATF is one of the topic which is there in the CAD exam syllabus, but I haven't covered in my ServiceNow developer playlist, right? So I told you that very soon I'm going to publish videos on ATF, which is the automated test framework, which we'll know more about it in a minute. So this is the video, guys. So there will be total 3 videos I'm going to post. So this is the first one. There will be 2 more videos on the ATF, okay? And that will be posted within a gap of 2 to 3 days, okay? So don't worry on that. So let's see what are the exciting things we are going to learn today. All right. So first, we would understand why we need testing in ServiceNow, right? So as of now, we have learned a lot of things about development, right? Starting from different API, why we need to use API, then different use case of script include, business rule, building custom application where we build custom application from scratch. So each and everything has been done. So now the question comes up, Preetham, we are working, or we would be rather working as a ServiceNow developer. If we work as a ServiceNow developer, then why we need testing, right? Testing is a different thing. So why the concept of testing is here? So I'll tell you guys, this is not only important for your CAD exam. So you can say that, okay, the syllabus, in the syllabus we have it, that's why. But being a developer, you should understand how the software development lifecycle actually works, right? And if you see it, it starts from designing, planning or designing, okay, then you develop the application, then it goes for testing, and then it goes to production, like that, right? So it is very important for you to know that why testing is important in ServiceNow and how you do it. So no rocket science is there, it's very simple. I'm gonna help you to understand each and every concept, and we are gonna do it practically also. So in these 3 videos, you are gonna have a great idea about ATF. Practically, you would be able to create test cases for ATF. You'd see a lot of different things like test suite and how you schedule your test and all those stuff. So this 3 videos gonna be very important for 3 types of people. First, who is preparing for the CAD exam. Second, who is preparing for become a ServiceNow developer, okay? And third is the tester who wants to become tester in ServiceNow. So for them, ATF is very important and mandatory to learn. So they are also gonna get help from these videos, okay? So let's get back. So first we would see why we need testing in ServiceNow. I'll give you practical scenario so that you understand it clearly. Second, what is automated test framework or ATF, we would understand. Next, why we need ATF, very important. Elements of ATF, what are the things that we have ATF in a broader way. And then we would directly go to the ServiceNow or PDI, and we are going to create a new test case from scratch. I'll show you. So it would be very basic because the first day you're learning it. And then we will also do analysis of an existing test case, so to understand those things. In next 2 videos, we are going to go deeper, especially in the next video, we will only do 2 to 3 different test cases. Again, we will build it from scratch and I'll show you how it works. And finally, in the last video, we would learn about how you schedule your test cases, how you create parent-child test suite, all this kind of thing. So that's gonna be very important. All 3 videos gonna help you a lot. Out of all 3 videos, I'm gonna say today's video will be very important because we are clearing the concept of ServiceNow testing, ATF, all this stuff, right? So make sure you watch the full video so that you understand each and every concept. Also, it would help you to understand next 2 videos very clearly. Okay, so let's start understanding why we need testing in ServiceNow. All right, why we need testing. So let's understand with a practical scenario. So we have ServiceNow dev instance, And we have dev instance, and then we have test instance, and then we have prod instance, right? Already I have explained this. So in the dev instance, basically you do the development, or the developers do the development, and when you're done with the development, then you move your changes in the test instance with the help of update sets, right? And in the test instance, the further tester do the testing, also the UAT or the user acceptance test, which is done by the client specially, so they also do some testing there. And then once everything is ready, then your application is moved to prod, right? The production instance, where the end user who are going to use the service now, they use it. So suppose you are a developer and building custom application in the dev instance, right? And to build custom application, you are using different tables, okay? Business rules, you are calling, you are extending task table which is there in the global scope, you are creating script include, so you are doing a lot of stuff, and also you are moving your changes to the test instance. Now once your application is ready in the dev and test, so if I ask you that, are you sure that this customization or the custom application what you are doing, so this is not affecting any existing functionalities of ServiceNow? Like maybe I'm talking about the incident table, the change table, the change creation process. So is this affecting any existing functionalities of ServiceNow, which it should not? Let me give you another example. So if you're already in ServiceNow field, then you know this upgrade happens, right? So definitely the upgrade never happens first in the prod, right? First it comes to dev or test, like this. So the lower instance I'm talking about. So once the upgrade is done, like from Washington to Xanadu, in the test instance the upgrade is happening, so there could be chances that existing functionality of ServiceNow could get affected because of the upgrade. So you can't say that, okay, I'm 100% sure nothing's gonna happen, everything would be fine, okay? And also in between there are bug fixes and stuff. So you should always think whatever happens, like upgrade happens when you create custom application or do any customization, so those changes what you are doing, that should not broke any existing functionality which is already there. That has to be the case, right? And how do you test that? You will tell me, okay Pritam, so after the upgrade happens, or after we build the custom application, suppose we move from dev to test, so then we can check in test instance or in dev instance also that whether all the other functionalities are working. Like I mean, any person can open different incident to check whether incidents are all working fine, go to the change module and check, and all the different aspects are there. There would be people who would do different kind of testing to confirm that everything is working fine. Maybe it is taking 2 to 3 days because there are so many things are there, so someone needs to test, right? So this is the one way of solving the problem, which is the manual effort, manual testing. Also the last example if I give, that the custom application that you are building in dev, after you move to test, maybe you want to check that whether that custom application is working fine or not, if all the accesses are working fine, if all the catalog items are working fine, all the service portal stuff is working fine. So different checks you can do. So based on the size of the custom application, you need to add more people to solve this. So is there any way to do all this kind of testing automated? Is there any way? Can we do that? So yes, we do that. So that's where the concept comes, ATF, which is the automated test framework. So after getting the idea why we need testing in ServiceNow, now you would understand why we use ATF and how it's so powerful. It is a tool for automated testing. So it is there in the ServiceNow, guys. It allows you to create and execute automated test to verify the functionality of ServiceNow application, customization and configurations. So like I said, once your custom application is ready, so you need to do a lot of checks that whether each and everything is working for your custom application. Also, after building the custom application, if other things are working, other ServiceNow application customization and configurations are working fine or not, that is also kind of a check that you can do with the help of ATM. And the beautiful thing about ATF is it's automated, and you'd see how cool it is. Ensures quality. So it helps ensure the quality and reliability of your ServiceNow environment by identifying and preventing issues early on, before you move your changes to production. So before the end user who are going to use your service now, before that, if you are able to identify, okay, so these are the problem maybe happening, some business rule is not working, some form is not loading, so that you can identify and fix it before it moves to production. Let's understand why we need it, why we need ATF. So first point, reduce manual effort. So definitely manual testing needs manual effort, and obviously it would take a lot of time. So ATF actually reduces a lot of time also. Minimize the human error. So if someone is testing, so there could be some issue, they miss something, but if you are doing it in an automated way, so there would be very less chance of any error. Early issue detection, so like we were talking before moving it to the production, so everything should be fine. Test can be run periodically, so it's very important. In the next video, I'm going to discuss how you can configure ATF in periodically, so that it can runs like weekly in your instance. So maybe there is no upgrade, no bug fixes, no custom application movement, but still you are testing it maybe once in a week. All the important ATFs are running in the backend. It is giving you a result that whether everything is working fine or not. Okay, that is the important thing. Now I know you're excited to see this ATF inside of the ServiceNow, but before going into it, let's see the elements of ATF. Okay, what are the things we have? So first thing is the test cases that we are going to create. So fundamental building blocks of ATF. Each test case represents specific test scenario. Okay, so maybe we are doing it for checking access of a particular form is working fine or not, or whether a particular user is able to see all the applications menu properly or not. So that can be done with the help of a test case. So that can be considered as a test case. And inside of that test case, we would run different test steps. How ATF would run those test steps, we are going to do that. So you can see individual actions, creating or updating record, or maybe verifying field values, whether it is showing correctly or not. That can be configured inside of the test steps. Then test suits, again this is something we are going to learn in the next video, practically how you create that parent and child relationship also. So it is a collection of related test case grouped together for better organization and management. So in a very simple way, when you are creating multiple test cases and you grouped in a single test suits, then you are running the test suits directly, and all the tests inside of it are running at the same time. This is very important. Then see the test results. So the outcome of the test execution. So it's very important, right? So we are not gonna run test, also gonna see the result. So what is the result of the test? So that we do. Also we get the detailed logs and execution time. Now it's time for go to my PDI and see ATF or automated test framework in practical. Alright, so finally I'm in my PDI. So let's explore the automated test framework or the ATF application modules. So if I go to all and search here automated test framework, so you can see, so we have this all different modules here like test suits, suits results, schedule, and many other thing like client test runner, which we will understand in a minute practically what is this. So everything about suit, schedules, all this thing we are gonna see in the next video in detail, like how you create a suit, how you schedule a testing suit, all this stuff we are gonna see already, we are gonna learn. Okay, so now you see there are different modules we have. Okay, so many things regarding the test runner. Then we have performance comparison. In the administrations we have properties, step configuration, test template. Okay, so more we will get into this, more we will explore all these options, so absolutely you don't need to worry. So let's start by going into the test. So already I was explaining in the PPT, test is the basic building block where you actually build the test case. So there are many out of the box test cases you can see here. You can open and see them. Okay, I'll show you that. But before, simply we are going to create a test case to show you how actually ATF works, how powerful it is, and what are the different things you can do. So it would be really fun. So I'm sure you are ready with your PDI to follow the steps that I'm doing. So first of all, what we are going to do, so let's take an example. So suppose this instance, our ServiceNow instance already in Xanadu version. So it has been upgraded from Washington to Xanadu. Okay, we want to check whether an user with ITIL role still successfully create an incident or not. So already, I mean, it's a very basic example I'm giving. So you know that a user with ITIL role can create an incident, but we want to check that, we want to confirm that, because the upgrade happens, so maybe different things can change. Okay, although I'm just giving an idea to you, so how different things can be checked. So this is just an example that we want to check the incident form is successfully working. So if user able to successfully create the incident, we are going to open the incident record, the same incident record, and we are going to see whether all the mandatory fields are working properly. I mean, it is showing mandatory and few other things. All right, So how we are going to do that? First of all, if I need a manual tester, okay, two things we can do. We can create a new user here, okay, and give them ITIL role, and then open the incident form and try to create an incident. Second, we can impersonate a user who is already having ITIL role, right, and try to create a new incident and then check whether incident is working fine. So to do manually, if I take the first option, to do manually, first we need to go to the user table, right, to create a new user. So first of all, I'm gonna show you the manual step. So then I'm gonna create a new user, suppose, okay, for this testing purpose. After I create the user, then I will impersonate it, right, by going here, impersonate user, then I'll impersonate with that user. And then after impersonation, I'll open the incident form. So I'll type incident here and create new incident. We are going to open the incident form here. And then we are going to choose the caller because it's a mandatory field. Caller and short description I have to choose. And then I'm going to submit it. We will confirm also if these fields are mandatory or not. We will see that and confirm that, okay, so yeah, incident form is working fine. A user with the ITIL role able to create an incident. Then after opening the same incident record, they are able to see all the fields which are not mandatory and also which are mandatory. Okay, so for last 2 minutes, whatever steps I have done, right, create a new user, I have not done it, but I told about it. Create a new user, then impersonate, then create an incident, submit the incident, open the same incident record, and then validate different fields, right? This same thing we are gonna do it with the help of ATF. Okay, exactly the same thing. So let's see how we do that. So I'll go to history and I'll go to test here, and I'm gonna go to new test. Okay, and I'm gonna name it maybe incident creation and validation with ITIL role. Okay, just like that. In the description, we can just write should be able to create incident, and also we are doing the field validation, right, and also checking field validation, like that. Okay, I'm gonna click on save button, and our ATF test case or the test has been successfully created. So this is our test case. Okay, now the first step is done. We have created a test case. Now what are the steps we need to do? First we need to create a user, then we need to give the user that role, ITIL role, then we need to impersonate and open the incident form, create incident. So all these steps that I'm gonna do, we will mention those steps here in add test step. Okay, so that ServiceNow can follow it. So I'm gonna click on add test step, and here you would see there are so many different steps that we can configure. For application navigator, application menu visibility, module visibility, custom UI, we can create component value, click component, email we can do, validate outbound email, inbound email. In the form we can do lot of things. Set field values validation, what we are gonna do. Okay, also in service portal, we can open a form in service portal, set field values, okay, create a UI action, submit a form, all these things we can do. List related stuff we can do, reporting related stuff. Okay, for reporting we can check the visibility of the report. For REST API also we can do lot of check here. Service catalog to check whether a catalog item is working fine or not after the upgrade or the bug fixes. We want to check there are some critical catalog items are there, whether these things are working or not, we can check that. So we can do different stuff. All right, so for us the first step would be to create a user, right? So create a user is also there in all steps, also there in the server, because we are going to create a new record here. So definitely the category should be server. Also you could find it in the all steps. Now we can do also impersonation. Directly we can impersonate with a user who is already having ITIL role, but as ServiceNow recommends that you should always try to create a new user and give him the proper role, and also add him the proper group if necessary. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Create a user. I'm going to click on next. So this is a create user form opens in front of me. So this is the execution order 1. So this step will first execute, which is the create a user. First name of the user would be I don't know, maybe Tom, and last name is Tom Hardy. So let's create that, Tom Hardy. And then we gonna have the field values. So we can provide also different field values which is there in the user table. We can do that, but here we are not doing. And the role should be we are giving ITIL, because that's the check we are going to do, that whether a user like Tom Hardy with the ITIL role able to open incident form, submit the incident record, and also we will do the field validation after that. So and this is a very important checkbox. So when true, impersonate the created user. So yes, that's what we are going to do. We are going to create this Tom Hardy user with ITIL role, and then we are going to impersonate it. So first step, I'm going to submit. Okay, you see in the description field automatically it's updated. Create an impersonate user with the following values: first name Tom, last name Hardy, with roles ITIL. Isn't it interesting, right? Next step, what we are going to do, so we have created the user, given the role. Next we are going to open the incident form. So add test step again, and if I go to the form section, you can see open a new form. That's what we are going to do. Install after step 1, create a user. Next step, what we are going to do, open a new form, right? Execution order number 2, standard UI. We can also choose in a workspace or not, where we want to open asset workspace, CMDB workspace, service operation workspace, but we are going to open in standard UI. And then the table should be not the user table. In which table we are going to open? Incident table. So open a new form, incident form. Okay, we can choose also the view here. We don't need that. I'm going to click on submit. So our step 2 is done. You see, open a new incident form. Then we are going to create an incident. So for that, we need to give value in the incident table from the incident form, right? So again, set field values. Under form, set field values. Click next. Again, form UI standard. Incident table is already selected. Now it is loading field values. So you can see 2 fields are coming only because these 2 are mandatory field. Already ServiceNow identified that these are the mandatory fields, so I have to provide. So this is the test. This is the ATF test. Okay, and color I can give as, so the same color I can give. So for that, I want to choose Tom Hardy as a color, right? So I can search for it. You see, Tom Hardy is not there because the user hasn't been created in the user table yet. How I can access the Tom Hardy? If I go here, you can see there is a small icon here. If I click on that, you see I can access different value, different returning value from different step. So in the step 1, what we did, we created a user, right? So we can directly use the same user in this color field, user. So in the step 1, we created the Tom Hardy. That would be the color here. Isn't it interesting? Then I'm going to click on submit. Now we have to submit this form, submit this incident, right? Again, I'm going to click on add test step. You can see here we are going to have submit a form. Next. Okay, so form submitted to the server. That's what we are going to do. Simple step, I'm going to click on submit. Submit the current form and confirm form submitted to server. Done. Next, we are going to open the same record and validate some fields. So in the form, open an existing record. Now which record we want to open? We want to open the same record we just created. So in the record, again I'm going to click on here and we are going to choose the submit form, this time record. That's it. The same record would open. That's it. I'm going to click on submit button here. Open the incident form with the step 4 submit record. So in the step 4 we submitted the record and same record I'm using. And here I'm going to validate few fields, right? So field state validation, this is the one we are going to use. Let's click on next. So what we want to validate, we want to see whether assignment group field is visible or not, assign to field is visible or not, because these are the important fields. And in the mandatory section, definitely we need the caller field, which should be visible, and the short description field, which should be visible. Okay, and non-mandatory, so for an example like additional comment is a non-mandatory field. So we are asking to ATF that test whether assignment group and assign to field is visible in the incident table successfully. Okay, then caller and short description is mandatory or not, and additional comment should not be mandatory. So they are going to check this Okay, we done field state validation. So this is done. Now, so again we have the concept of client side and server side, right? So for an example, creating a user definitely in the server side, then opening the incident form again in the client side, then we are setting the field values, submitting the form, then we are opening the existing record, again it's a client side. When you mention some steps for the client side, then when you run the test, it needs to run in a test runner. So what ServiceNow is saying, okay, if you mention any step which involve client side, so we are going to give you a client test runner. That means simply a new tab will open, and there you would be able to see all this step visually. What do I mean by that? That means incident form will open, then it will set all this value. You will see the caller is automatically filled up with Tom Hardy. Then the short description would be filled up with this is the ATF test. Then the form will submit. Then you'll open the same incident record and validate this. All of the client side stuff you'd be able to see in front of your eyes inside of the test runner. Now you understand what is the importance of this test runner. Okay, and we're gonna see it right now. Now, first thing is that there is no run test button. Why is that? So by default, run test and test suite execution is turned off by default. Why? Because first of all, understand that very important point. You should run ATF only in the lower instance, like the test instance, dev instance. Okay, never ever you should run ATF in the production. Never ever. All the testing should be done in the below instance. When everything is ready, then you move everything to move your application to production or do the upgrade. Same reason, when the upgrade happens or ServiceNow push any fixes, bug fixing stuff, always you should take it in the lower version first. Do the ATF to check whether every important functionalities are working or not. When everything is passed, if something is not working, fix that. Then when everything is passed, you move to production. Okay, in production we do not do any ATF. So first of all, we need to enable that test run option. I'm going to click on here, and you see this is the properties page. Also you can go to all and search for again automated test framework and come here to the properties. Same page will open. So here we need to turn on this test and test suite execution. Okay, enable schedule test suite execution, because we are going to do that in the next video. So make it active. I'm going to save it. Now once it's safe, I'm going to go back to the automated test, to the incident validation, creation and validation. So here you can see now we have the run test option, run performance test, debug, all this stuff. So more about this debug test and copy test, we are going to see it in the next video. But now we are going to do the run test. The moment I click on run test, you see it is asking for start a new test runner. If I click on run test, a new tab will open and we would be able to see all the steps, what is happening. Also, you should not close that tab. You should be there in that tab, so that runs happens. To solve that problem, we also have the cloud runner. Okay, more about it we are going to talk about next video, about how you can configure it, how it works. But for the time being, we are going to use start a new test runner. That's the thing most of the time you are going to use. I'm going to click on run test. A new browser opens. Watch it very carefully, waiting for a test to run. Now you will see here, first I connected with system administrator, then currently executing as Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy is created, user is created. Now we open the incident form. The next step is happening. Tom Hardy is the caller. Short description is this is the ATF test. Okay. Next, we submitted the incident. Now we are going to open the same incident, and we are going to validate whether all the fields are working fine. So again, same incident open. Still, I'm executing as Tom Hardy, and it is validating whether all the fields are working fine or not. Again, when the execution is done, I'm getting that I'm currently connected as system administrator. So automatically it has done the end impersonation. Okay. Now, very importantly, if I go back here, you see all the test cases get successful. We are going to go to result. So this is the result. You can see test passed. Okay. If I scroll down, it will show all the step results. What are the steps I've done? Okay. Create a user. Everything is got successfully, and also it took total 43 seconds. We have test transactions and test logs. So these are the details you can check. Now we have some interesting things. You can see there are some screenshot attached. What is those screenshot? If I click on this and all the screenshot gets downloaded, if I open, you can see these are the steps, one by one steps that we seen there. It's taken a capture of those steps. So if there is a failed step, you can also check and see where it gets failed for the client side, right? Because the client side things only we can check. All right. Now, one more very important thing I'm going to tell you. So if I go back to history and again open, the thing is that you will tell me, Preetham, it took a lot of time to configure, right? It took a lot of time. So in the meantime, we could impersonate and check all those stuff. But once it is configured for once. Next, anytime any upgrade happens, or maybe you are checking it after 7 days or 24 days, doesn't matter. All you need to do, click on run test. The moment you will click on run test, again, you can open it and it will work. So again, I'll run it and I'll show you something. So you can see the runner, client test runner is already open here. I'll keep it open and I'm going to click on run test. I'm going to click on Chrome again, run test. Now, if I go back here, you see the test will automatically run. Executing test. Again creating Tom Hardy. Now, how again it is creating all this thing, I'm going to tell you. First, watch this. The creation of Tom Hardy didn't show because it was a server side stuff. All the client side stuff, it is happening. Creating an incident, filling up the form, and then again it will open the same record and it will check for all the fields validation. Okay. This is again just an example, guys, to show you how powerful the ServiceNow ATF is. So once it is complete, again it would ask for waiting for a test to run. I'll go back here. You see everything is right. Now this is the thing I forgot to explain this. This is called rollback. What is this rollback? Rollback means, so we have created a user called Tom Hardy, right? And we created an incident with Tom Hardy to test, right? So now if I go back to the incident table, we would be able to see the incident, right? Because it got created. Do you find any incident created with Tom Hardy as a caller? No. Then what happened? If I go to the sys_user.list and let's see whether the user Tom Hardy got created. No, it didn't create. But we have checked the Tom Hardy user get created and we created a new incident also, right? But it didn't get created because rollback completed successfully. So that's the beauty of ATF. Whenever do any kind of test in the ATF, so it actually didn't save any data. So the user actually gets created, then an incident gets created with the same user, Tom Hardy, and then after the test is done, whether it passed or failed doesn't matter. Rollback will always happen. That means all the steps that has been done, creating new user, submitting an incident, all will be rolled back. So you won't be able to find it. So this is the beauty of ATF, guys. And you see how we created a test from the scratch and how we run it. And I'm sure you are already understanding the benefit of using ATF. In the next video, we will create 2 to 3 more test case. And then we're going to see how we can create multiple test case and then group them in the test suite. How we can schedule a test script so that every 7 days or every 1 month test suite automatically gets executed. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you like the video, hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section for any doubt or anything. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and family so that it can reach out to many people. See you in my next video. Bye bye. Take care.